wasn't the one that made me stronger. Yep, the word was stronger. Okay, the trauma wasn't the one that made me stronger. Sorry, kids. This trauma wasn't the one that made me stronger. The trauma made me weak. It made me lose hope. It made me feel like I was alone. I was not able to like fight against the trauma that is holding me back. And what made me stronger was my will, my ability, my effort, basically my ability to like go through it. And that was what built my strength. And I think that's a very good point, because people often associate trauma with, you know, maturity and growth and, you know, strength in a person, but it's not that. The truth is, maturity comes from the cognitive ability behind the experience, you know, like the ability to process what you're going through and actually find a way around it or through it. I mean, not around it, through it, yeah, because around it, just, I feel like when the moment that you try to shift that trauma around you is the moment you lose that sense of experience that grows you into a much more mature person. And therefore, because you shift away from that experience or that trauma, you hide from that trauma instead of like going through it. Not saying that people should go through trauma, please don't get me wrong, but that hardship, you know what, I'll use hardship from now on. Trauma is a very big word. Hardship makes you feel okay with inflicting that hardship to others as well, because I think that is where maturity makes a difference, you know. Like, this may be a big topic, and I don't think that I have the rights to talk on behalf of this, but let's say in terms of a toxic family and abusive parents or abusive friends, or, you know, anyone abusive, I feel like people who go through it, you know, and, you know, use the cognitive ability, try to understand the reason behind why such people are abusive and why certain things happened, are able to also stop the chain of the problem itself, you know, instead of people who solely follow the root of that hardship. I mean, not hardship, but like in this term of abusive parents or toxic family, like go with it instead of like trying to understand it, causes them to inflict the same pain onto the people that they meet in the future. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think that is how maturity works. Maturity works from the ability to understand things, the ability to process and reason things behind why it happens, instead of like solely going through it. And that is why I think that maturity is not solely based on experience, but the process of the mind itself. And honestly, that is what makes it hard. It makes it hard to earn that level of maturity, because it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of courage too. And so people who endure a lot are actually very strong people and courageous people. People who are mature are people who are very smart and very brave and very, you know, I salute you. I respect you. Not saying I don't respect people who don't feel strong enough, but it takes a lot to be able to go through shit. And I talk this on my behalf of, like, I've also gone through like things that I constantly regret, and I think that has made me grow as a person, to learn to not inflict the same pain on people. Yeah, that is maturity. So in conclusion, I think that we can say maturity isn't acting cool or acting like, oh, I'm a grown up and whatever, that bullshit. You know, maturity is the will. It's knowing and doing what's best for you and what's best for others. Now this is exceptionally difficult. Yeah. Because sometimes, I mean, in most cases, doing what's best for you contradicts with the idea of doing what's best for people. And let me tell you my story of that scenario itself. Remember when I told you just now, when I got out of high school, I felt much more freedom in making my own choices and like expressing myself. Honestly, that's the gist of it. And so one day I wore this like butterfly eyeliner kind of thing. It was very nice. You can see in my Instagram post. I was kind of proud of it, even though it's not something that I should necessarily be proud of, but it is, because it's something that really reflects me as a person. I feel like it's not showing that I'm really embracing my feminine side. It's not. I don't think that's the idea of it. The idea is that I love my artistic self, and I think that I didn't get to do that when I was in school, and so I did it that time, and then I posted it on Twitter. Coincidentally, my school was organizing like this graduation ceremony, whatever that means, and then I got this like sort of like valedictorian award, you know, tokoh murid sort of shit. So yeah, and then I just thought it was a fun idea to like tweet that picture of me wearing a beautiful butterfly eyeliner, and then caption it with like, your icon plaja, something like that, like student icon, your student icon, something like that, and then a lol at the end. So it was, I knew it was gonna be quite controversial because you know, it's like people are gonna wonder what am I trying to mean by that message. And honestly, I don't mean any harm, because what my message was is to make people realize that, I swear to God, these kids, I will murder a child. Okay, where was I? These kids. Yeah, the purpose of my post was to make people realize that being this sort of like student icon or whoever inspirational shit you want to be doesn't require you to hinder yourself as a person, as you know, to hide your true colors, or you know, basically it's you can still be yourself. Yeah, you don't have to fit into the stereotypical idea of an ideal student, all those bullshit. No. But then, however, I know, and I mean, people liked it. Like, I don't think people like really liked it, but people were like hyping it up, and that post kind of blew. It didn't blew up, but it sort of did in a very small scale. But the problem was not there. The problem was later. I don't remember how many days later, or is it the same day? I don't remember. I don't give a fuck. But there's someone from school messaged me asking, what are you trying to mean? What is the message that is trying to be conveyed by that tweet? Because parents and students and teachers are wondering what am I trying to say? And that hit me. I mean, it didn't hit me. Actually, I laughed at the first time I saw that message. Like, oh, seriously, we're going through this shit again. Like, I was tired of being scrutinized at school, and now scrutinized again, even getting the hell out of school. Like, it was it wasn't fun for me, and so to receive that message was really not the best experience ever. And so a lot of things went through my mind. I asked for my friends, like, what do you think I should respond to this? And then at the end of the day, I actually wrote a whole essay about, you know, self-expression, and then stereotypical, ideal, blah blah blah, all that bullshit that I said earlier, to explain why I did that post. But then I realized that regardless of however I try to put it into words, it's not gonna change their idea of, you know, like, if they have this sort of like mindset of like that post has a bad connotation or bad meaning, then however I try to explain it, it doesn't work, because I know that person, and I know how that person would like react, and it's never a good way. So you know what, fuck it, I just end up writing, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause any harm, blah blah blah. And it felt better. I mean, it didn't felt the best, because I didn't get to truly express what I want to say. But I realized that it was better because not only did I tarnish the relationship between me and that person. I mean, I kind of did, because I blocked them. but but it didn't make matters worse. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I could have worsened the situation by you know, giving them that essay, which is bad for me and them both, because, you know, I don't want to lose connections or whatever. And the tweet would just be a tweet instead of like a drama between me and my school or whatever. So yeah, I just decided, you know, I'm just gonna apologize. And you know, sometimes, and I think that is what I mean by doing what's best for you and what's best for people, because some people think that, I don't know what some people think. Honestly. But yeah, maturity to me is doing what's best for you and what's best for other people around you. And sometimes it is hard to exist concurrently, both of them. But it's also, that is where tolerating certain amounts of your benefits comes in handy. However, I think a common misconception about maturity is putting others first before yourself, and always acting like you're fine, and you know, not validating your emotions, basically, which is wrong. That is very contradictory to maturity itself, because like me, even though I chose to apologize instead of like fighting for the shit that I wanted to fight for, it wasn't beneficial to me, and so I apologized instead, and it doesn't in any sort of way invalidates my feelings, because at the end of the day, I didn't delete the tweet, and the people who I want to express my authentic self to are reached instead of the wrong people, and like the wrong people can fuck off. Like, I still was able to validate myself as a person, and that is what matters to me. And back to the misconception, I think, is how people tend to put others first too much, that they invalidate their emotions. Like, you know what, if I'm sad, then it's okay, as long as others are happy. And I think that's not the best form of maturity, because that is injustice towards yourself. and it's not helping you grow as a person. It's not healthy for you.